Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to 3Y TV. And tonight, we're in round 9 of the OSCA Truck Series. And tonight, Monticelli's sister's birthday bash 120 here at Watkins, Glen. I'm your host, Mike Forget About It Goodman. Along with me, as always, behind the scenes is Carlos Acosta. And tonight we're here at Watkins, Glen. Yeah, Monticelli's birthday, and hopefully gets a good run here, so that'd be nice. But Watkins Glen, if you didn't notice, ooh, happy birthday! I don't know what I'm doing with my noises. But we're here at Watkins Glen, and if you notice right there, running a different configuration than what a lot of the NASCAR boys are used to, running the boot, DAS boot here tonight. And it's going to be interesting. A lot of guys, I think, here in the field, probably have taken some laps here at Watkins Glen. Of course, we've ran Watkins Glen last season, but a different configuration for these boys to throw a little bit of a wrinkle in the mix as well. So far, just winding down, about 3 minutes left to go in practice. I think favorite coming in, Johnny Eckert, currently sits on top of the leaderboard by over a second over his teammate Dennis Weeks. And again, some of these practice times, maybe some of these guys are giving a little bit more than they're used to, and the times might be a little bit closer than what the standings say. In once we get into real life racing, things will tighten up a bit. But these guys have to a lot of closing in to do if they want to catch that 90 of defending champion Johnny Eckert. And now Dennis Weeks has closed in within 0.8 of a second, or under 0.8 of a second. So some of these guys getting that boot figured out and just transitioning there. I believe you're only probably missing a quarter-mile length of the right out of the carousel to where they normally hit to turns 10 and 11 here. But that boot will probably add a good 30 seconds, couple corners there. I believe, just kind of off the top of my head, I think you're going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 6 more corners with that DAS boot configuration. And these are the standings coming into tonight in round number 9. Johnny Eckert pulling away with that victory last week. As you see, Dylan Gooden trying to keep up. Mr. Excitement, Johnny Thomas, sitting in 3rd. Robert Hill Jr. rounding in 4th, and rounding out top 5, DJ Weeks. So a guy who was struggling to get into the top 10 in points for much of the season, Dennis Weeks has climbed into the top 5. And the likes of Myhan, Westergreen, Tepe, Dewar, and Kevin White Jr. just trying to hang on by the time these playoffs start. And certainly this could be a wild card race to the fullest. And I believe we're going to have a pretty good field here tonight. I believe 25 cars are currently showed up in the field here, as we are under 30 seconds away until we get going with qualifying. And yeah, just once again, to Nick Monticelli's sister, happy birthday. And I was Linda, I'm hearing, Carlos, yeah, there you go. And happy birthday, Linda. And I just hope Nicholas can get a strong run, but he's got some picking up to do. Currently 8 seconds off the lead, and happy birthday! Heck yeah. Hopefully you're celebrating, and wish your brother the best of luck here tonight. I'm sure maybe going out of his comfort zone to race here at Watkins Glen DAS boot configuration. And now practice is over. We're going to get qualifying underway here for Monticelli's sister's birthday bash 120. And again, 2 halves. First half 17, second half 18. Again, the top 14 will invert. So that could also play a big factor once we jumble up this field here a little bit. And again, Johnny Eckert, one of the more exciting guys What's this? Happy birthday to you. Yeah, don't make me sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Linda. Happy birthday to you. I couldn't help it. That's such a fun graphic there. I couldn't help myself. He's got to have it, and it looked good. I love it. But guys currently making their out laps here for qualifying. There'll be a little bit of time before they get on their flyer lap. But again, Johnny Eckert, good buddy here up in the booth, always does a good interview. But maybe selfishly speaking, well, Linda's 102. I'm just teasing. I'm kidding. But it looks like me on with birthday candles. Can't blow them out. So we'll have celebratory graphics. I'm sure Carlos is going to be on it here tonight. But once that field inverts, I'm looking forward to seeing if they can make their way up through the field and maybe seeing someone different. Because I think the heavy favorite going into tonight is Johnny Eckert. Did win here in the ARCA series for the OSCA ARCA series earlier today. And there you see the number 5 truck representing the Cup Series champion Kyle Larson. That's Vincent Isabella. He's going to be taking the green flag to his lap. So nobody setting a time just yet. Takes about over 2 minutes to get around to get your green flag lap in. And then roughly these times were in the ranges of about minute 55, minute 53 to about 2 minutes, varying throughout the field here. So a lot of qualifying. So there's 10-minute session here for the road courses, and these drivers, most of them have to probably go out right away. Some guys like to wait last minute. That's going to be hard to get a lap in when it takes you almost 2 minutes over 2 minutes to get around to get the green flag, and another almost 2 minutes to get your first lap in. There's Dylan Gooden second in the truck points, and he's your guy in the truck business. Looking to build off some momentum. He's got his teammate to beat here tonight. Might be a tall order, but if anyone can maybe do it, Dylan Gooden might be a good bet as well. So he's kind of going. Is he through the Das Boot section yet? I'm still trying to learn this section. No, he's going Das Boot here. Oh, this is the hairpin there. You see the big sand trap, and then he should be exiting right here, or maybe one more corner. Or was that the exit there? Right here's the exit, and then going back to the normal corners 10 and 11. So again, Das Boot is going to be a big learning curve for a bunch of these drivers. We see a couple of these guys, Gooden, Isabella, who's going to make their lap first, who's going to be faster on the leaderboard. Zach Evans goes up to the top of the leaderboard early here with the lap of 156.538. And Dylan Gooden right now passes him at a 154.701. And Isabella on his second lap overshoots the corner. He currently sits second on the leaderboard. Here's Shane DiMantova looking to send it. Oh, those cars were that close together when they switched. That's kind of insane. Trucks. Yeah, my bad. Trucks. Sorry, Carlos. Still, I was just so mesmerized by how close they were running together. Shane was way too close to my hand. See what I did there? Okay, I'm done. I'm done. But here comes Dallas Mayan through the carousel, and then he'll be exiting to the boot here in just a moment. Das Boot, as you see, this is kind of the different area. Carlos is on it tonight. We're gonna have a party with Das Boot here, yeah. I feel like instead of drinking the water that I have on hand, I should be grabbing a beer, but I don't have a boot glass here, so that's kind of a shame. Johnny Eckert did go to the top of the leaderboard with a lap of a 153.931. Currently 7/10 the lead over second place qualifier, Dylan Gooden. DJ Weeks in third, Vincent Isabella fourth, and Riley Marbella rounds out the top 5 so far here in qualifying. Chad Thurnquist might be another guy who's usually pretty fast here at the road courses. If you can get anything done, here's guys making their second lap. Here comes Shane DiMantova, currently scored in 18th. He comes across the line. He moves up to 13th with a 156.892. And there's his riding buddy, Dallas Myhand. I believe he took us. I wonder if these guys are still rolling, unless they get 3 laps. Well, they get 2. Oh, they did only make 2. Hey, yeah, that's what I figured. Practice laps. Got to get some practice in. So currently 19 of the, I believe, if I'm doing math right here, 25 cars have made time now. 20. I think your top 5 still standing pat, as they did before. But just to notice the ranges, our pole sitter ran a 153.931. That's Johnny Eckert, and the 20th place car right now ran a lap of 159.247. That's Dustin Dewar in the 32. That's about 5.3 seconds off of Johnny's pace. And if you do remember watching last season's race, it was dominated by that 90 truck. Maybe trying to add this configuration to throw a little wrinkle for it, but for Johnny, but it also adds a wrinkle to everybody else. There's Brandon Dollar, who showed some speed. He was solidly in the top 10. He's in Das Boot party for Brandon. Give me Das Boot. Oh yeah, that was Beer Fest there, wasn't it? Yeah. Brandon, give me $1. I'm gonna give him a holler because he was running in the top 10 most of the practice session here. Let's see where he comes up once he crosses the line. Let's see where Dollar ends up. Moves up to 7th. Just ahead of Kynan Jones and Zach T. Evans on the board. And Linda, if you're watching here on your birthday race, your brother currently scored in 20th. The lap of a 158.188 for Nicholas. But I think that the nice thing here too is happy birthday! There's groups of guys that are going to be putting on some great racing that are pretty tight with amongst themselves. They're kind of packed out a little bit here, but I think the racing should be pretty good here tonight. You see Johnny Eckert, I believe, still just logging laps there. Actually was able to improve on their time with a 153.572. We do have about 50 seconds left to go in practice. It's guys like Jordan Tarble, Adam Peeler, Alex Kenton, and Zishan Dura and Brent Jones currently not taking laps here in qualifying. Might choose to start in the back here tonight. Chose not to use it as a practice session either. Sometimes I know guys like to do that as well. And there's the land shark himself, Kynan Jones, currently scored 9th place. Let's see, he should get this lap in before the clock runs out. Let's see, Thurnquist as well. He's moved up into the 5th position with a 155.149. Kynan Jones still holding on to that. He must have went off course there. Didn't score him that last time by. But he's still good enough for the 9th position. And there's Dewar. Oh, he went for a ride. So the field is set. We're ready to grid up for half number 1. 17 laps of Das Boot Watkins Glen action here for the Monticelli Sister Birthday Bash 120. Das Boot, Das Boot. Happy birthday, Das Boot. I just made that up, Carlos. How'd you like it? He's proud. He's proud of me. I'm proud that you're proud. I don't know what that means. But all right, here's the starting lineup for the Monticelli Sisters Birthday Bash 120. On the pole is the points leader, defending champion, number 90, Johnny Eckert. And starting alongside is your guy in the truck business. That's the number 75 of Dylan Good. In row number 2, it's going to be Dennis DJ Weeks Jr. in the 97. And starting alongside, it's Vincent Isabella. Starting at a 5. In row number 3, I got a little chuckle there from Carlos. In row number 3 is Chad Thurnquist in the 02, and Riley Marbella will start alongside in the 92. Row number 4 is Brandon Give Me a Dollar in that 55. Looking for a good night out of him. And La Flama Blanca, Kevin White Jr. in the 8th position. Oh, look at all those dollars he's getting. And starting in the 5th row is Kynan Jones in the 73, the Land Shark. And starting alongside, it's everyone's favorite social media man, it's Zach T. Evans in the number 6. In row number 6, it will be David If I Were a Carpenter in the 71, and Adam Tepe will start alongside in the 96. Row number 7 will be the 60 truck of Thomas Capuano, and starting alongside in 14th will be the 28 truck of Dallas Myhan. In row number 8, it'll be Steven Hot Shoe Schumann in the 24. And in the 16th position will be Shane Send It DeMantova. In row number 9, it'll be the 9 truck of David Westergreen. And next to him in the 18th position will be the man from way up north, that's Robert Hill Jr. In row number 10 will be the 32 of the Dustin Dragon Doer, and the brother of the birthday girl, Nicholas Monticelli, Bill's Mafia, starts alongside. Row number 11 is the 89 truck of Brent Jones, and starting alongside him will be the 10 truck of Zishan Dura. Row number 12 will feature the 07 of Adam Peeler, and starting alongside will be the 72 and Alex Kenton, starting 24th. And rounding out our 25 car field here tonight is the 8 truck of Jordan Tarble. And that is your field here for tonight. These guys got a warm-up lap, get one last layout check here for Watkins Glen, featuring Das Boot. And I still don't care that Das Boot. Das Boot Party. Das Boot Party. The bus stop here is still one of the hardest turns for me to make, but very limited experience with Das Boot. And we'll get a little slower look here before we go green. Das Boot Party. Das Boot Party. We're gonna go to Das Boot. So right out of the carousel, this is still a normal part of the NASCAR track, but right where the pace car is at now, we're going down Das Boot. And they call it the boot because it is shaped exactly like a boot. So some sharp corners here. Again, a lot of these guys probably a little unfamiliar with this area of the racetrack. Usually see it for sports cars, IMSA series. And down the kind of the hairpin corner of Das Boot. I believe that's going to be. I believe that's going to be Carlos's Too Much Beans corner. I think that's the Bush Baked Beans corner of the race, to see if guys. That was okay. That was the one. Okay. Is it this? Oh, this one. Yes, we're talking. Not this one either. Come on. This one. Okay. Carlos says the last one will be dangerous, but this is where things can get tricky because it's going to be a transition back to the regular NASCAR racetrack, and how flat and sharp that turn is. That's the Bush Baked Beans, Too Many Beans corner here tonight. Exiting Das Boot. Now we go to party. Gonna start the race here as the pace truck's coming through turns 11, getting ready to duck on to pit road for our first half of 17 laps of OSCA Truck Series action. Johnny Eckert is gonna try to send it Rome here, and the green flag is out. He's gonna hit the loud pedal. He's got his teammates of Goodman Weeks behind them as they head down into turn number 1. And we are underway. And Johnny Eckert's going to clear and leave his teammates side by side through turn number 1. Sometimes that's the scariest corner to get through when the field's all bunched up. Right now, going through the S's. It looks like Gooden and Weeks figure it out, because sometimes that's the scary part too, to be side by side. Even though this track generally considered one of the easier ones on the NASCAR circuit, there's still definitely scary points to go around here, and we're going to go through the first time through the bus stop. Looks like everything's smooth so far. These guys, except Thomas Capuano. Looks like maybe he had too much rear brake going into the bus stop. He turns around, but he's going to lose some track position there. He's going to be at the tail end of the field. And Vincent Isabella, representing the Cup champion. He was hoping maybe that'd give him a little good juju coming into tonight, but so far not the way he wanted to start this race. He's fallen back to the 12th position after that spin, almost blocking the whole track. So now going through the middle of Das Boot here. I think this is right. We're hitting the corner here. I think Eckert already rode through it. A lot of these guys transitioning back to the regular NASCAR surface there. Looks like so far everyone's getting through there, but we're early on in the going. Zach T. Evans under some pressure. This is back for around the 16th position. I'm going to update my scoring here. It was screwed up, jumbled up. David Westergren getting by, moving into the top 15. Johnny Eckert so far 2.3 seconds lead already on the first lap. DJ Weeks trying to follow suit. And those Outlaw Racing boys try to lead the way. And there's Chad Thurnquist in the 4th position. Another guy to watch out for. And there's La Flama Blanca and Brandon Dollar in the 5th and 6th position. So if they can keep it on the racetrack here, a couple maybe good runs here for guys who maybe long overdue for some decent solid runs. And Kyden Jones, the Land Shark in 7th. He was a guy that's he's flirting around with that top 10 in points with a solid night tonight. He can find himself back up in the mix. Going through the S's here, going through the carousel, I should say. And now we're entered Das Boot with Dallas Myhand on his onboard camera, following the 71 of David Carpenter. And this kind of gives you an onboard look and what this different configuration for a lot of these guys are used to. And again, a lot of times it's just the transition of going to, that was the Land Shark himself. Kyden Jones, he's going to drop back into the 9th position, and now even falling back to... my hand goes around. I think he avoids most of the sand trap there. Excuse me, coughed there a little bit. But goes off in the sand trap just a little bit, but not deep enough to get totally buried back on track. And he's going to fall back into the 13th position, right behind Shane DiMantova. As these guys are getting ready to complete lap number 2. Going through the final 2 corners of Watkins Glen here. They need to update that because they're between turns 10 and 11 there. In real life, they have it paved. Yeah, I want to see it really bad too because they are updating it. Hopefully, you know they add these tracks like the Coliseum, LA Coliseum and stuff like that. But I thought it was, maybe not. Maybe it's not out yet. But I think they featured it in that video. Yeah, so it's all, I think, near complete. But I think there's some tracks they could update before they release any new content. Off track is the 10 of Zishan Dura. And looks like some heavy damage. Capuano. Looks like his night is over, or his half is over. And so is the 10 of Zishan Dura. Might have to take a look at what happened there. And I hear some apologies, but I think that was actually from Vincent Isabella, who's currently running in 8th. And here's a replay of what happened. Zishan going down into turn 1 here. Oh, looks like the rear brakes got around, and oh! Nowhere to go once you're on the brakes like that. It's hard to steer the truck, and Thomas Capiano hitting him just in the perfect spot. And it appears their nights are going to be over, being scored in 24th and 25th. And oh, Peeler goes around. He's 23rd place truck. Losing on the racetrack there. So there's going to be a lot of action all the way around this this racetrack here tonight. And Carlos told me how big this track is. Now I kind of forgot. It is 3.36 miles of a racetrack here with the Das Boot. And oh, there you see Peeler getting up off the course in the tire barrier and going around. Luckily, no one around him to take him out. And again, I'm hearing, OSCA tries to come out weekly with their radioactive, and it's probably one of the more entertaining things on their Twitter. And tonight it might be the Canadian version of radioactive. It's a lot of, oops, sorry, eh? Oh, Carlos, you were in it. I have not seen it. I didn't know it was out there. I might have to check that out, and you can check that out yourself at race_OSCA at twitter.com. Be sure to follow along during the week, as I did not. You can do that. Coming out of the bus stop from... Oh, did you run Carlos, did you run the ARCA race tonight? He ran the ARCA race last week. Yeah, you didn't run it this week, though, either, did you? Yeah. He chose not to run. Always a good time. I think I've only made one ARCA race. Always a good time. And Chad Thurnquist does move up into the second position. Still almost 7.5 seconds behind our leader, Johnny Eckert. Still some close battles here on the racetrack. Vincent Isabella, Dave Carpenter, and La Flama Blanca, Kevin White, and the Land Shark all running single file here. That's for the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th positions. Even Riley Marabello, throw him in the mix as well. So it just showed how much Johnny Eckert was the class of the field, coming into this, the odds-on favorite. But a lot of these cars are so close running together throughout these different battles going on throughout the racetrack, as Carpenter's going to look on the inside of Isabella going into one. Ooh, actually ends up losing a few spots. Maybe he was afraid of pushing up into the 5 truck. So here's a scary situation going side by side through the S's here. It looks like they do get it settled and figured out. But Isabella's looking to set up a pass going into the bus stop on the 38 of Kevin White. And that just threw me off there, looking out the back here of the 38 truck, is seeing a Kyle Larson paint scheme on a Toyota Tundra. Just different. Oh, I thought maybe getting a little loose out of the carousel transitioning to Das Boot here. Might have been White, but it almost looked like Isabella got kicked out a little bit as well. Oh, we see a truck. I think Riley Marabello off the racetrack into the tire barrier, and he's going to go around. Oh, excuse me. Gets into the... Now he's got to wait for a lot of the field to pass, and here he was flirting. He was in the top 10, and he's going to fall all the way back into the 18th position, and he's got some damage. A lot of damage to his race truck, and we'll take another look what happened. Oh, looks like maybe Carpenter braked a little less than what he thought, so he had to slam on the brakes, got the car out of shape, and almost had it saved, and right there gets in the outside guardrail as well, but he continues on, currently being scored now in the 19th position. Thurnquist coming down pit road. Now we're going to see some tire fuel strategy here involved. You see, well, there's Zishan, who is off the track after that incident earlier. And yet we're still hearing a gaggle here of trucks with now Kynan Jones making a charge, trying to battle Vincent Isabella for the 6th position. It looks like he's going to get that position before they head on into the S's, and now Carpenter's going to take a look and get past Isabella as well. So Isabella, about one couple corners, goes from 6th to 8th, and these guys, I think, can't shake each other. And Kynan Jones looks like he's a man on the move as he's going to look on the inside of Kevin White going down into the bus stop. Well, he thought better of it, because side-by-side of the bus stop is never a good idea. And usually here, this is usually a pretty good passing zone for me in the carousel, but I do not know how I would take this converting into Das Boot. I'd be a little scared. Nice one. 38's going to go wide here as Kynan Jones gets around. That's going to open the door for Vincent Isabella, who moved back up into the 7th position. Yeah, that flame is extinguishing indeed just a little bit. But how about Dallas Myhan recovering from his little off-track incident? He's worked himself up in the 8th position, and now he is going to get to the rear bumper of that 5 truck of Vincent Isabella. A very weird Hendrick Cars.com Toyota. You know, I'm pretty sure Hendrick sells every car make under the sun, but obviously in NASCAR it runs Chevy. And there's Kynan Jones pulling away from this group of cars, so he's doing a good job here. But La Flama Blanca seeing a lot of heat from Isabella. Oh, there he found it. That's old Kenny Powers. Eastbound and Down, great TV show. And Adam Tepe and David Westergreen decide to pit together. And they are currently running 16th, 17th, hit pit road. And, man, pulling away Johnny Eckert. All he has to do is hold a pretty wheel, and he's going to have things under control. DJ Weeks, currently sitting back, took over the 2nd spot when Chad Thurnquist hit pit road not too long ago. 3rd spot, Dylan Gooden. Brandon, give me $1, running in 4th. Land Shark, Kynan Jones in 5th. And there's La Flama Blanca once again. Now he's still got that heat from Vincent Isabella. Trying to keep that flame alive here. Going through Das Boot's section of the racetrack. I can't tell you what corner is what here. Very unfamiliar to me, but I know they're in the I know they're in the boot. Still hasn't really been able to quite set up that pass. Now it looks like the 38 washed up a little wide, but still nothing doing, because it's going to be hard for Vincent. He's looking out the windshield at the 38 truck, but behind him the 28 truck is there as well. And as you see, Shane DiMantova off the racetrack. Is that right around your transition point too there, Carlos? Was that close to that? Yeah, that was right where the Bush Baked Beans, Too Much Beans corner. Shane DiMantova currently scored at 16th position. Now he's back out on the racetrack. Right now, this has got to be the best battle here. Still trying to settle this out for the 6th position. No one can quite get around the 38 truck of Kevin White Jr. Now with 10 laps to go here in half number 1. These guys, these 4 trucks here are pretty even. All their lap times last time by, I believe, are relatively close. So Dallas Myhan, the fastest out of the bunch last go around. Like DiMantova went down pit road after going off course, or he did lose a couple spots at least. I thought maybe you'd get some of those repairs done from getting off course there earlier. And it looks like Kevin White able to pull away just a little bit over Vincent Isabella. And between these guys, these 4 guys battling for position, it might come down to maybe figuring out when to short pit and try to get ahead and just run your fastest laps to kind of break away from these guys. I'm sure it's nerve-wracking for guys you see Kevin White overdriving it. Ooh, it looks like the 75 go off course at some point. It looked like he had damage on the rear end of his truck. You see I believe that's the right rear that was bent up. Maybe I got that mixed up. Nope, that was the left rear. I had a 50-50 shot, and I guessed wrong. And there you see our leader on top of the leaderboard, smooth sailing 16-second lead. And on the bottom, you still see that battle. Best battle on the racetrack right now, those 4-car group. And now my hand's looking on the inside of Isabella. Couldn't quite get that run off the corner. Isabella's going to hold on for now to that 7th position. I know, personally speaking, being in these situations, if I were my hand, sometimes just pit now and then get out on the racetrack, hopefully by yourself, and then just put faster laps and hopefully you can gap them and not have to worry about making a dangerous pass or scrubbing speed off by trying to make a pass. We'll see what happens here. As Isabella, I think through the S's and the bus stop area, he's pretty. I think he's a little faster than the 38, but I think through the boot, Kevin White might be able to pull away just a little bit from that 5 truck. You see the transition there to the boot. I suppose you don't have to turn as hard going on that stretch that cuts the boot on the NASCAR course. And is Chad Thurnquist on pit road again? Is that who that is? Oh, so maybe some trouble for the 02 who was scored in second before he pitted. But here we look. Once again, Isabella looking on the inside. Nothing doing yet. And not able to get the pass. And I heard a uh-oh. Oh! Oh, and Kevin White goes around. Looked like he got a little loose. And maybe Vincent... Oh, I thought maybe he got loose and then Vincent helped him. We'll have to see what happened there. Or maybe just... I've heard on the radio that Vincent Isabella said he had nowhere to go. And here's what happened to the 02 truck going through the bus stop. And so he blew by. Yeah, just. And then we'll take another look here. What happened between the 38 and the 5? It looked like the 38 might have just got a tick loose, and these guys are running so close together that they made contact. And it happened. Yeah, it was a little rough driving. Oh, so close. He hit the apron, washed up, got help from the 5, and there he goes around. And that's definitely going to hurt the 38's chances of finishing in the top 10. Currently scored 14th position. We have issues hearing at the bus stop. There's Brandon Dollar running in 4th. Uh-oh. SpongeBob knows what's up. So now it appears that the 5 truck of Isabella... Oh, here we might get an explanation of what happened from the 02. Yeah, I need my attention set to... Why is it not... It didn't show up. Oh, there. Oh, too much back pain. Wheeling this thing. Hey, you know, they always say these guys aren't real race car drivers, but depending on your ergonomic setup in your rig, or even what you do to your body, you know, in your real life. I know Dustin Dewar injured his foot So I'm thinking even running this track with all the braking, something like that could pay a heavy toll. And sometimes sitting in a chair a certain way and even trying to wheel it can hurt. Oh, man. Icy hot to numb the pain. Shaquille O'Neal. Thurnquist, there you go. There's like one of 50 products that Shaq endorses, and yeah, he is an entrepreneur. He's got it figured out. And maybe Thurnquist, he can, in between these last 7 laps in heat number 2, or the start of heat number 2, maybe he can go run and get some icy hot, get some heat on that back. And get some Papa John's to fill up on. Pepperoni. DJ Weeks currently scored in second, 20 seconds now back from our leader Johnny Eckert. And it's about a 5-second gap back to third place from DJ Weeks. And here comes Johnny Eckert down pit road. That might give a chance for DJ Weeks to lead at least 1 lap, if he can make it that far. There you still see that battle between the 71 and 28. Those two guys didn't separate from each other after the incident between Isabella and Kevin White Jr. I believe all cars on the lead lap, except for the guys who wrecked out, is in Thurnquist, Marbello, Monticelli, Campiona, and Dura, except for Tarbell and Kenton. So they're currently scored 1 lap down. We do have 18 trucks still on the lead lap. It looks like DJ Weeks did take the lead there after Johnny Eckert pitted, but he had such a gap. I think Eckert is back on the track, only 20 seconds back of DJ Weeks. And there you see Kevin White Jr., Hot Shoe Schumann, in the 13th position for Kevin White, and I think it's going to be cycled around the 14th. Oh, there's Shane DiMantova. That's what. Okay, I was mixed up. Wrong black and yellow truck. Shane DiMantova in 14th, Schumann in 15th, and Tepe in 16th. That makes way more sense. I was very confused there for a second. Let's come down 6 laps to go here in half number 1. As we're still cycling through some green flag pit stops. DJ Weeks holding on to that lead. And oh, off the course. Issue in Das Boot, and that is Monticelli, right? As he scored 6 laps down. The 22nd. It's his sister's birthday. Yeah, we got the birthday bash race here. Okay. It's your birthday, Das Boot party. Maybe that's what he's doing too much of. He was having Das Boot beer through Das Boot. But Monticelli scored 22nd, 6 laps down. Back out there grinding, trying to get a little practice in before we hit half number 2. And there you see just the gap. And I was at 3 seconds until he can retake the lead. So what a lead Johnny Eckert had on the field. And hey, we haven't talked much. Oh, there's the old Canadian, Robert Hill Jr. running in 4th. He's going to come down pit road, get his service complete. DJ Weeks holding on as long as he can, trying to lead as much as he can, but he's got his teammate Johnny Eckert hunting him down after he's already made his pit stop. And there you see where he's catching him. And I believe a lot of those laps were just because Eckert coming down pit road. There's been a couple cars that have yet to come down pit road, and that's DJ Weeks, Dylan Gooden. I believe the rest of your field has come down pit road. Yep. So I wonder if these guys can make it on fuel. I would be surprised with how early these guys pitted, if they can or not. So with 5 laps to go, 2.5 second lead, there's Schumann Still being scored in the 14th position. Isabella may be having a little bit of issues. No, I'm looking. Man, wrong car. Dang it, I'm off tonight here, guys. Carpenter, the 71, and Vincent Isabella going around. Makes way more sense once again. Move Isabella up into the 7th spot. Carpenter in the 8th position. DJ Weeks is going to hit pit road. I believe his teammate Dylan Gooden stayed out on the racetrack. So he relinquishes that lead, which probably wasn't going to last a whole much longer with fresh tires Eckert coming on. And now here we go, Brandon Dollar currently holding on to that top 5 spot. He's got a mirror full of Dallas Myhand and Vincent Isabella. Not too far behind that, also Carpenter. So he's going to try these last 4 laps to defend as hard as he can to keep on to that top 5. So he could drop all the way back into the 8th position for that 15th spot, or the 55 truck. I don't know where I was going with that. 4 laps to go here at half number 1. I believe Dylan Gooden came down pit road there as well. As it cycles through now, Johnny Eckert back to that dominating lead, 24-second lead, 25-second lead. Is the current scoring. We see here that Brandon Dollar still trying to defend that position. Isabella once again trying to set up aggressive passes here, and Dallas Myhand going through the bus stop. This could be interesting. Oh, Myhand misses the bus stop, gets loose. He goes through the grass. Shades of Marcus Ambrose back in 2011 with Brad Keselowski. And he's going to fall back into the 8th position. Trouble's in the bus stop. Trouble in the bus stop. I don't know why I have to sing every time a graphic comes up. Just roll with it, guys. And there's Shane D. Mantova. Steven Hot Shoe Schumann and Adam Tepe coming out of the bus stop going through the carousel. I gotta say, shout out to David Westergreen in 11th. I know I'm not a big fan of road course, but he's worked up in the 11th position. Good run for him. Being on a type of racetrack I know he did not want to be at here today, but running smooth, staying on course, and staying out of trouble gets you a pretty solid finish here tonight. But here comes Vincent Isabella looking to take that 5th spot away from Brandon Dollar. And oh, Dollar runs wide. Isabella's going to get by. I think even Carpenter is going to shoot by him as well. Drop Brandon Dollar back into the 7th position. Now with 3 laps to go. He's got to hit his marks because he might fall out of the top 10. Give me $1. Brandon Dollar. No. Yeah. I was thinking, who's the ARCA driver that was Dollar? Sometimes I get that mixed up. No, who's the ARCA guy, though? I was almost going to say his name, but I can't remember his name now. Anyway. Carlos is looking it up. Thanks, Carlos. Making him work overtime here tonight. Drew Dollar. There we go. This Isabella, I mean, kind of once he's showing some pace here. It's going to be interesting once we jumble up through the field. Currently sits Steven Hot Shoe Schumann holding off Adam Tepe for that transfer spot in the 14th position. Brandon Dollar gets in the... Well, there's a meme for him too. That's Drew Dollar, or a GIF. A GIF. Is that what kids are calling it this day? A GIF? GIF? Is that what the kids are saying these days? That's what they're saying. That was Drew Dollar, Brandon's brother. I was gonna say currency mate. Johnny Eckert, 2 laps to go. 28-second lead. And Carlos, I believe he said during the interview last week he was still worried about going into this, and he loves to be dramatic during the interviews, but I think most of the field would have agreed that this result probably doesn't surprise him too much, especially the clinic that he put on last season. Again, kind of what sparked the Johnny Eckert dominance that we've pretty much seen since. Once he swept the races here last season at Watkins Glen en route to his championship. So next time by, he'll be getting the white flag lap. I mean, he could probably run in second gear for most of this lap and still be able to hang on to the lead. He's been dominating the show, that is for sure. Here he comes through turns 10, diving down to turn 11. He's going to be seeing the white flag come out just in a second. One more lap to go for the 90 truck of Johnny Eckert. Was put on a clinic here tonight in half number 1. But he'll have, after this half, he's going to have, his work cut out for him. Starting back in the 14th position. I wonder if that's going to be a battle between Schumann and Tepe here as well. So one final time through the bus stop for Mr. Johnny Eckert here at half number 1. A little bit of lap traffic ahead. I don't know if it's going to be an issue for him. Well, I mean, far as the lead concerned, shouldn't be an issue. And I believe that's the 89 truck of Brent Jones, and he's just going to peel off course there. That actually might have been the 07 of Peeler. That was actually the lap car. So he's going to win this with about 30-second lead. See if we can pull it to 32. I mean, that's a couple corners left. Oh, gets a little loose in Das Boot. But Johnny Eckert now, all he has to do is take it easy, but we're getting through the final couple corners here. Now he's transitioned back to the regular course. Just about to hit turns. Or wait, no, I might be mixed up where I'm at. No, I was right. Turns 10. No, this is turn 10 here. Yeah, okay. Now I'm up to speed. He's going to come through turns 10, turn 11 for the final time here in the first half. Johnny Eckert putting on a show here. Cleaning the field. He's going to win half number 1. It's coming, Rome. It's Johnny Eckert coming home with the win. It's coming, Rome. We'll make him say it here tonight. And then now coming through turns 10 for the final time will be our second place runner. That is DJ Weeks. Holding off Dylan Gooden. And how about the top 5 run for Kynan Jones once he makes it back around here. It looks like, ooh, that battle for the transfer spot. Adam Tepe takes it over the 24, Steven Schumann. There's Dylan Gooden coming home in 3rd. Here comes Kynan Jones in 4th. Isabella in that 5 truck. I mean, I've seen it run 17 laps now. It's still weird to me it's a Toyota, but he's going to come home in 5th. And give me $1. Brandon Dollar. He's going to finish. Oh, there's a wreck. Robert Hill Jr. Excuse me. And I believe Kevin White also losing time. Hill able to cross in 9th. Wow. Right out of the last corner, causing some excitement. Tepe going off course. He was in that transfer spot. That's going to move Schumann and Demantova. Too much beans for the 96, and he was in position to start on the pole for half number 2. And unfortunate enough for him, he's going to be the first man out, finishing in the 15th spot. So, man, turn 11, usually not a calamity corner, but Here on that last lap, there was a lot to digest. So your top 10 running order: Eckert, Weeks, Gooden, Jones, Isabella, Dollar, Myhand, Carpenter, Hill Jr., and La Flama Blanca, Kevin White Jr. round out your top 10. But man, oh man, shuffling positions indeed in the very last second of that race. And there you see the rest of the running order. David Westergreen did hold on to that 11th position, just beating Zach T. Evans, who finishes in 12th. Steven Schumann moved up into the 13th position. He'll start on the outside of the front row alongside Shane DiMantova. Adam Tepe, Dustin Dewar, Brent Jones, and Adam Kenton round out your top 18. So what? As far as the lead concerned, that wasn't the most exciting, riveting races, but guys like Isabella, Myhand, Carpenter, put on one heck of a show, and I think right now the MVP of half number one has to be turn 11. That was crazy. I'm wondering if Johnny Eckert was playing Mario Kart and throwing banana peels out on the racetrack. That's what it seemed to be coming out of turn 4 on that last lap. Running through the rest of the field there: Adam Peeler, Jordan Tarble, Nicholas Monticelli, Chad Thurnquist, Riley Marabello, Thomas Capuano, and Zishan Dura round out the 25-car field. Again, this is Monticelli's sister's birthday bash 120, half one in the books. 30 seconds left of the warm-up round before we get to half number 2. Now we have 18 laps. And I guarantee you, ooh, that's a strong word, but I think I'm safe saying this. Although I don't know if I want to now. I'm guaranteeing that Johnny Eckert will not win this race by 30 seconds because he'll be starting back in 14th, but I guess I wouldn't be totally shocked if he did, because he was by far the most dominant car out on the raceway. Uh-oh. Elmo is burning. Oh, no. I'm making my cat meow at me by making weird noises like that. So now the warm-up session is over. Field has been inverted, and the field's gridding up to get ready to go here for half number 2. 18 laps. And again, on the front row will be the 20 truck of Shane DiMantova, and alongside will be the 24 of Steven Hotshoe Schumann. Starting in row number 2, you see those trucks there. It's the number 9 truck of David Westergreen. Actually, he'll be in 4th, so I'm reading this wrong. And Zach Evans will be in 3rd. David Westergreen will be in 4th. Row number 3 will be La Flama Blanca, Kevin White Jr. and Robert Hill Jr. alongside, the Canadian will start in 6th. Row number 4 will be David If I Were a Carpenter in 7th, and Dallas Where's My Hand starting the race off in 8th. Row number 5 is Brandon Give Me a Dollar with that strong run in half number 1, and he'll be alongside Vincent Isabella, who showed some speed there as well. In row number 6, it's the Land Shark, Kynan Jones, starting in the 13th or 11th position. Actually, looks like Robert Hill Jr. not gridding up for this race. And Dylan Gooden alongside. DJ Weeks and Johnny Eckert are going to be back in row number 7, so they were going to have some work to do. I believe Dustin Dewar has failed to make the race, so the starting position might be a little bit scrambled here. Or maybe choosing not to start with the pack for some of these guys to try to avoid trouble. We'll see if they get out on the racetrack. And Dewar did grid on pit road. I think we're still looking for Thurnquist and Marabello and Hill Jr. Zishan, I believe, are not gridded up at the moment. So Dewar's going to start the race on pit road. Sometimes that might be the best strategy, especially if you're not comfortable. Steve Harvey. So free spots here for some of these boys. And how long is it before you can get back out on the racetrack once you start on pit road? Isn't it right after? Oh, you can start driving out of your pit box. So for a guy like Dewar who is on pit road, I mean, he might lose. Yeah, I'd say you're right, Carl's 5-10 seconds around there. And instead of being in a track that you maybe not that comfortable with, might be a good strategy just to kind of run laps by yourself and let the riffraff happen in front of you. And by the time you get through there, it should be cleared up and ready to go. But now we have new faces up front as they go through Das Boot, getting ready to start half number 2 here of the Monticelli Birthday Bash. Das Boot Party, Das Boot Party. And now we make the party interesting by inverting the top 14, yeah. And we'll see if anyone can dethrone the king of Johnny Eckert. He'll be restarting, I believe, he might be restarting 12th now that Robert Hill Jr. did not grid up for this race. Thurnquist we kind of figured with his back situation. Hopefully Thurnquist does get better with that back issue. Back pain is always the worst pain to have. Get some icy hot and numb the pain. As we're going through the final couple corners here, Pace Truck's going to get ready to dive off. We're going to go here in half number 2. Shane DiMantova is going to lead him to the green flag. He's going to get the good jump. Going down to turn 1, he should clear the 24 of Steven Schumann. And he will do so. Looks like almost 3 wide going into 1 for a second. Westergreen stuck on the outside. He'll get rolling. I believe 21 trucks will be entered into this race here from the 25 car field. Actually, Robert Hill Jr. I believe has joined the party as well, giving up his 5th position. But Shane DiMantova taking the early lead here going through the bus stop. Ooh, White and Westergren side by side. Starting to go through that bus stop. Excuse me. Drink too much water. Monticelli and Carpenter going around into 71. And a caution. Oh, there's a big wreck. That was a big wreck. I think Carpenter, Peeler, Hill. No, not Hill Jr. There's a couple cars that got involved in that wreck. So we're going to rack them up. And go green flag racing. Once again here after a caution. We'll shorten up this heat a little bit. We'll see Carpenter goes around. Tepe goes around. Monticelli. Or that's Peeler. I'm getting those cars confused here tonight. Dewar had to go through the grass to avoid that mess. So maybe starting on pit road wasn't his best strategy. He just kind of lost it on the exit. I'm wondering if the banana peel was moved out of turn number 11 into the exit of the bus stop. Because there goes the 71. See, Tepe hits that wall hard. Yeah, he's going to need some icy hot after that wreck. So I wonder how many takers will be on pit road. Icy hot, numb the pain. When the heat is on, the pain is gone. Shaquille O'Neal. So I hope you... I'm hoping people are enjoying my impressions. I might be the next Frank Caliendo here coming up soon. Just watch out. So lap 2 now in the book. Shane DiMantova still holding on to the lead. And I gotta wonder, we've seen some of those guys stretch it pretty far. On a 17-lap race, it still might be early to come down pit road. And they should be able to potentially do that once we get back to turn number 11. And see if there's anyone that might want to gamble and see if they can stretch it and make it without a pit stop, making a pit stop under green, as we've seen a very rare caution here on a road course. Generally, the thinking is if there's, a track is blocked or a certain amount of cars that are involved, and as you've seen, there's quite a few there. As you've seen, even Dustin Dewar, who started on pit road, had to go through the grass to get around that incident. So that was, I think, worthy of a yellow. Generally, a lot of leagues will do that. They'll let it, if that was a solo spin by Carpenter, wouldn't have brought out the yellow, but with all the cars involved on the exit of the bus stop, to avoid innocent bystanders not really knowing how bad the wreck's going to be once you approach it, the caution was the wise decision to throw. And it will punch up the field once again. And just to note, heat number 1 winner Johnny Eckert already up in the 9th position. So already making a few spots up, starting back in that 14th spot. So we'll see. We're getting through Das Boot section. Monticelli down pit road after that, so must have had some damage. There's some issues there. Well, Carlos has got the camera guys set up where the camera guys are at. Carlos, you're good. That's kind of neat. This is what it's like to be a camera guy at Watkins Glen.
I'd like to take the credit, but we actually don't have a track package, track camera package for this one, so this is iRacing. But hey, I'll gladly take the credit for none of the work.
Well, I'm still giving you credit. You're still the man controlling all this, so I'm giving you the credit.
This is
so here'll be.
This is Mike trying to give me credit by creating an error.
Yeah, an error indeed. That's me like a lot of the times broadcasting here. Looks like much of the field coming down pit road. I think the lone man staying out. D Mantova is the lone gun. It's the old adage of when you're the leader, whatever they do, you do. The rest of the field does the opposite. I think Jordan Tarbell is going to stay out on pit road as well. And Vincent Isabella is going to be the first car. Johnny Eckert already up in the 4th position. So maybe taking just fuel or maybe 2 tires there for a lot of these guys. See, Schumann goes back to 2nd, or from 2nd all the way back into 10th coming off pit road. So interesting. I still think it's going to be pretty close if these guys can make it. I think there's some guys that can save enough under the right situations. Kevin White Jr. comes out in 5th. Dallas Myhand in 6th. Kynan Jones 7th. Thomas Capiano 8th. Zach T. Evans 9th. There's Hot Shoe Schumann rounding out the top 10. So, I mean, we're only 3 laps in here. And a wild one to start it off with a big wreck coming out of the bus stop. We've already jumbled up the field a couple times. And only about a half a lap of green flag action. So Linda, I know your brother, I think he scored currently 27th, 1 lap down. But I hope the race itself put on enough entertainment for you. And Nicholas, I can't remember who the Bills are playing, but I'll usually root for the Bills. As long as they're not playing the Packers. I always liked them. Hearing there might be some penalties issued by pit road issues of not giving the guys enough room, so there might be some EOLs handed down. 2 trucks, I believe, getting EOLs hearing on the race chatter. And I believe that's going to be the 38 of Kevin White Jr. And I don't know, Capuano, maybe the other one? No? Kevin White for sure is. He's dropping back through the field. So all the track position he gained, it's gonna lose it. I believe the 28 of Dallas Myhan might be the other guy that fell victim of the pit road penalty. I believe it was a lot of the leagues don't like it if you run too close to the pit boxes, and a lot of guys can't see where they got to enter. And it looks like Johnny Eckert down pit road once again. So this might be a fuel strategy going for him here as well. To get the maximum fuel, you have to come down the first time. Otherwise, the pits will close the next time around. So we see Johnny Eckert give up that 4th spot. Head down pit road. So interesting, as the field's going to take the 1 to green. Oh, how the turntables turn, the plot thickens. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing in just a few moments once they get one more time around this big... Now I forgot the distance again, 3.3, is that right? 3.36 mile racetrack. And Johnny Eckert's going to be back in 16th after coming down pit road. I think even some of the guys like Myhand and White, who did get the penalty. Oh, there it is. How the turntables turn. Michael Scott from The Office. Classic stuff there. So I believe guys coming down the pit road the second time. Dustin Dewar, Dylan Gooden, Robert Hill Jr., Johnny Eckert, Dallas Myhand. I believe DJ Weeks was the other one. So they're going to try to make it, I think, the rest of the way without making another pit stop. Whoop, whoop. Getting ready to go back green. And if you're dancing along at home when we go through Das Boot, Michael Scott and Dwight did it best. Das Boot. Do the Michael Scott. Das Boot. Yeah. Carlos, could you chug both those Das Boot beers that guy's holding on to? Well, you can try. I mean, it depends on the mood. I think I can get it done. Not all the time. Some of the time. 50% of the time, it works every time. There's another... Yeah, it depends on the mood. If I'm in a drinky mood, I think I can get done. We're going to see Carlos's mood here. No Das Boot! Loving The Office GIFs. So we're just about get ready back to green flag action. Shane DiMantova leading all the laps. Hasn't come down pit road. Kind of got snookered by everyone else in the field. He's going to try to stay up front as long as he can, but it's going to be interesting. Some guys no pit, some guys 1 pit, some guys 2 pit. Let's see if they can make it without coming down pit road again. We're about to find out as the pace truck dives down pit road. We got 16 laps to go as Shane DiMantova gets a great restart. Vincent Isabella as well is going to get by the 8 of Jordan Tarbell going down into turn 1. Oh, we got 14 to go. I can't do math. Math is hard. And there Shane DiMantova is going to lead the field through the S's. Jordan Tarbell right now getting a mirror-full of Kynan Jones wanting to get into the top 3. On the exit, gets a good run to the 73 truck. Oh, looks like Dollar off the racetrack. He is out there. And oh, we got Nicholas Monticelli joining us up here in the booth. How's it going, Nick?
Not great. I mean, that little tap I got with Brent Jones put me out of the race, so.
Oh, wow.
So you're feeling the Michael Scott throwing the paper on the floor mood, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I've been feeling that all week, so.
So it's your sister's birthday today, as we have.
The perfect product.
Are we doing this again? Take icy hot, numb the pain. Yep, there you go. Carlos has got it. Are you sure you're not Shaquille O'Neal, Carlos? I've never seen you in person, so I don't know this. But I guess so. But back on the racetrack, we have Steven Schumann trying to hold off. Currently, it's being scored in 10th, trying to hold off Dallas Myhan. We got side by side up ahead of them. La Flama Blanca and Capuano. So, Nick, the Das Boot configuration here on Watkins Glen is a very new concept for me. How difficult is that transition going to the boot?
Well, I can say this. Personal experience, I wrecked more tonight in the boot than anywhere else on the track, so.
In Das Boot party. So, I mean, now that you're not racing anymore, having Das Boot party, it's your sister's birthday. I think you got to go party now.
I mean, yeah, we went downstairs and ate some cake with her.
Oh, there you go. So how old is your sister?
Wow, what a question
17?
you probably shouldn't be asking.
17.
Yeah. Whoa!
Whoa, I didn't mean it that way. You guys are sick.
Oh,
no!
Into the S's off in the sand trap.
That's not the S's. That's the bus stop.
Bus stop. Wow, I'm getting just all turned around. The bus stop. Trouble in the bus stop. There, SpongeBob's letting you know.
He's good, man.
Terrible. I know. It's been one of those days here.
Ooh,
almost coming back on track, getting Dylan Gooden.
I've actually been I've really been impressed by Kynan Jones today. He's been running really well.
He's been showing a lot of speed, and I was also impressed by Brandon Dollar, although he just right before he came on here did go off track, and he's actually now back in the top 10. I think Capuano having some issues off track as well. He's fallen down the leaderboard here quite a bit, out of the top 10 back into 16th. But yeah, Kynan Jones, the land shark here, he's been putting on the move, showing a pretty decent pace currently in that top 3. So what do you think your chances of, or think Kynan's chances of hanging on to it? I know we got some fast guys in Eckert and Gooden who appear to be saving fuel in the back of the field right now.
Well, I think that I know what they're doing on the strategy. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. It should be interesting. I know that Kynan Jones is planning on taking tires when he pits because he was having issues with wheel spin at the end of the last race. So that could be interesting of people who take tires and people who don't take tires.
Yeah, and I don't know if you were in the lobby long enough when some of these guys came down pit road here, under that caution, and some of the guys who pitted once seemed to get off pit road quick. Was there any takers on tires, or some guys who took no tires? Do you know?
I do not know. I was downstairs eating the cake when this happened.
Oh,
I'm still in the session of it. I have like 30 minutes of engine damage, so I'm done.
Yeah. Oh man, and it's kind of unfortunate to end the night early here, but seeing a couple buddies here. Yeah, Kynan Jones, Dollar. That's your team, right?
Well, Jones isn't on my team. He's kind of an independent, but Dollar is on my team, and I'm just really happy that he's been running well tonight because it's been rough for him recently.
I think someone went off course there. Thought I heard some damage by somebody. That is the 28th of Dallas Myhan, who just dropped out of the top 5 in points, and that's going to hurt. Looks like a couple things going on the racetrack.
I'll say this: I'm in here, so I can hear the driver's chat. Dylan Gooden sounds upset.
I can faintly hear it. I try to see if I can get some one up on what's going on, and that Dylan Gooden does not sound pleased by whatever happened to him out on the racetrack.
And Kevin White Jr. just left the server.
Kevin White Jr. left, so he was running up there, and now he's fallen back, and he's gonna finish probably more than likely in the 21st position. Looked like Dewar just had some issues. Dollar falls back to 15th. Field's jumbling up quite a bit. Dollar going a lap down.
I have to wonder if maybe Dollar and Gooden came together.
That might have been what it is. Gooden has now scored a lap down as well after a very interesting lap here. Kynan Jones now currently scored back in the 5th position, losing a couple spots, but you got to wonder if there's going to be any save mode for the 73 truck. See Carpenter get by as well, so maybe he thinks he's close on fuel, maybe trying to save just a little bit. It's going to be interesting.
I was hearing from them if they were wondering if they could go the distance from there, and I heard Kynan said I think he was going to try and do it.
He almost got to try, and 73 looks like he's trying to save that fuel, and I'm sure a lot of guys who did go down pit road, he was the one of the guys that came down pit road once, so he's going to have to save a little bit more than some of the guys like, I think, Adam Tepe in 9th is the top running guy who did top off on fuel before we went back to green flag racing. And back up front, we didn't even talk about this, Vincent Isabella took the lead over teammate Shane DiMantova. And one thing I got to say too is I don't know about you, that look at that you have the Kyle Larson truck, but when you see almost out of gas. Hey, Airplane, that's a good movie.
It is.
It is a great movie. But seeing that Kyle Larson paint scheme in a Toyota, it's weird.
It's really
My
throwing
hand!
me off. I keep thinking, oh no!
Where's my hand? It's in the sand trap. There goes my hand, and now he's falling back to 13th spot, going around the course again. So a big change from what we've seen half number 1. You see Westergreen holding on to 3rd spot right now. Zach Evans in 4th.
And I really got to give those two credit too. I mean, I don't ever see them running this well. I don't really know about Zach, but I know David really struggles on the road courses, and he's been doing an excellent job this race.
Excellent. I think. I mean, maybe along with yourself, I think Westergreen was probably the least looking forward to coming to Watkins Glen tonight. So be running in the top 5, and I believe finishing 11th, half number 1. I'm sure he'll take it, and he'll take the run he's having so far here in half number 2.
Sure. I mean, especially for me, you wouldn't think that I wouldn't look forward to coming to my home track. This is my home track, but I mean, go there every year for the Cup race. But I just don't look forward to this place in trucks. It's not that fun.
Yeah, it's a different animal. It's almost if you have it, you have it. It's fun to do, but if you don't, it can be pretty rough. And it seems like a lot of guys having a more rough of a time. I believe we had most of the trucks on the lead lap last time. We're already down to 14 trucks on the lead lap.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was to say Dewar is now out of the race. Brandon Dollar out of the race, who had that good first half run. So a couple more trucks added to the attrition pile here.
It actually kind of reminds me of the last time we came to the Glen. If the first race, more trucks definitely finished in the second race. I can speak to that. I finished 10th, but I was a lap down and way slower than everyone else.
Is it just like when the field inverts? Is it something where these guys who are maybe up front trying to stay ahead of someone like Johnny Eckert, who has that such a dominating pace? Is it just kind of a last-ditch effort to try to stay ahead of him?
I would say that's definitely part of it. You're probably pushing a little harder to try and stay ahead of Johnny. You want to beat Johnny. You want to be the guy that beats the best around the track. So.
Yeah, and so far, Johnny Eckert now in the 10th position, but 31 seconds down. And you know, if he loses enough time as he now moves up in the 9th position, we've seen him have about I think when he pitted in half number 1, he had roughly a 20 to 25 second lead. Couldn't remember, but then got behind DJ Weeks by about 3 seconds. So if he loses too much time before guys like Isabella and DiMantova pit, it might make this strategy a lot more interesting. Make this race to the end. So you wonder if a guy like Johnny Eckert should have had that mindset of just kind of going for it and pitting himself, trying to work his way as close to the front as he could. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Currently falling back to 32 seconds back, as I think a guy like Isabella right now is going to try to put the best laps he can before he has to come back down pit road. 'Cause he's kind of running like a guy who's not saving gas.
Dave Carpenter just moved up too. That's a good move by him.
Good move to move him up into the 4th position. And here we got 9 laps to go. And, you know, it was around this time, half number 1, we started seeing guys come down pit road. But again, that caution. Oh, Zach Evans going off track. See, that's why you need those paved areas. Didn't hurt him too bad.
Yeah, speaking of paved areas, I'm really excited for when the rescan of this track gets out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
So that has been confirmed that they're gonna repave or not rescan Watkins Glen.
At least from what I've heard, I think they already might have rescanned it. I just don't know when it's coming. They haven't officially announced it, but people said they saw iRacing vans with the scanning equipment at Watkins Glen. Like
They announced it in the video game documentary they did.
Oh, sweet! I didn't
Oh,
even know
okay.
that.
Oh, is that the one that was on Fox
Yeah,
Sports,
yeah.
I believe? Yeah. Okay.
I was told. I haven't seen the documentary. I was told that it wasn't that it was announced, but when they showed Watkins Glen, it was a repaved version. When they were talking about iRacing, so as far as I can tell, there's no date as Thomas Capuano spins out.
Going around, he's back in 14th now, so a rough half for him as well. Guys, a lot of these guys taking advantage of some of these guys' rough second halves. See again, Isabella, DeMantova, Westergreen holding on to the top 3 positions here. And there's the man north of the border. It's Robert Hill Jr. He's being scored in 9th. Adam Tepe side by side with Dallas Myhand. Seen Myhand have a few issues here so far in half number 2 after a pretty strong showing, finishing in the top 10 in half number 1.
And for team points this season, I would say this: ID Racing and my team over here, Holotype, we're pretty close in points, and ID is the leading Toyota team. We're trying to catch them here, but
yeah.
Manitoba and Isabella in first and second really isn't helping our case right now.
But I think the big thing is if they can make it on fuel and the laps that Isabella is turning. Oh, Shane's down pit road or Isabella as well. So that's going to leak.
I wonder if they'll take tires because everyone will be slow saving gas.
It's going to be interesting because now Johnny Eckert, see how if they can get ahead of him, he's probably the guy that's going to set the pace. Coming down to pit road, looks like Isabella is off. Looked like DeMantova was taking tires there.
So even differing strategies between teammates.
Yeah, it might be different. Yeah, it looks like Isabella maybe took 2. I think it's going to be about a 5-second gap between the 2. Well, that might have been where they were at before he went down pit road. But who would have guessed this? David Westergreen, I think if you would have asked him before we went green flag racing here tonight that you were going to lead a lap here, David, do you think anyone would have believed, or would he have believed you?
I don't think he would have.
I don't think he would have indeed. Carpenter running in second. And now we're seeing some of the strategies play out as we have 7 laps to go here in half number 2. Again, I'm Mike Goodman, joined along with me, Nicholas Monticelli. And Monticelli's sister, birthday bash 120.
I mean, happy birthday to my sister too. I didn't even say that. So.
Did you get her a present, or you just eat the cake and you're just greedy?
I ate the cake. I'm greedy.
You greedy? No present for the sister. Well, I can't say I ever did the same for my sister, so I get it. I've been there. You just say, "Hey, you're getting old now. Isn't that cool?" She's like, "Yeah."
Happy birthday! You're 1 year closer to dying.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna remember that one. But Westergreen holding on to the lead. Let's see if he's gonna come down pit road. I don't believe he does. He's gonna lead this lap. Carpenter following in suit, and now you wonder if Westergreen, if he's a guy that was maybe close on fuel, if he can start being in a position to save a little bit. He's got a 4.5-second lead over Carpenter, and behind them, Zach T. Evans 12 seconds back, Johnny Eckert 14. So he's got some gap to play with here. I gotta wonder the lap times between Vincent Isabella, who did come down pit road, and Johnny Eckert. But Johnny Eckert, just how fast he is here. He's, last time by at least, ran over a second faster than the 5 truck of Vincent Isabella.
Yeah, and I wanted to point out some other guys that don't really get pointed out all that much. You have Kenton, Tarble, and Peeler down there. They're all part of the same team. They're Aviator Racing. They're on Twitch. And Kenton is making his first start tonight. You know, maybe a rough night for him, but you know, it's only your first start.
Oh,
It's
and then
tracking trucks.
And then for Kenton getting thrown into Watkins, not only Watkins Glen, but Das Boot Watkins Glen. That's a pretty tall order for especially unless he's more used to the road courses. It can be quite a headache to be thrown to your first league event here in the OSCA Truck Series. So welcome, Alex. I didn't even point that out that it was his first start here tonight.
At least I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't remember seeing him before.
He seems like a fresher name in the series, that's for sure. But I know Tarble and Peeler just a few weeks ago making their season debut after getting promoted from the ARCA series.
Bet you didn't know this, but early in the race, right where Johnny is right here, I actually rolled my truck completely.
Oh, wow.
I got into the barrier and grabbed.
So you did exciting stuff. We didn't even catch it.
I know it happened like not even like it happened like right behind, right in front of Nolan Good. The second race,
wow.
late in the race.
Yeah, it was. So that we were wondering because we gave you a mention, to shout out to your sister and her birthday, and kind of wondered what happened to you, and now we know. So how would you grade your flip? Did you land back on your wheels?
I did land back on my wheels, and I actually kept driving it for the rest of the race after. So.
Oh wow.
That's what originally happened to me. It was in the first half, yeah. And the first race, though, the first incident that happened to me, I don't even remember exactly what happened, but I just, I had an incident and went around the pit.
So yeah, I had to pit now. Yeah, back up front. Now I'm wondering because now it looks like Johnny Eckert kind of turning the wick on here, and he's running quite a bit faster lap times than the 2 leaders of Carpenter and Westergreen. And I think this could get very interesting as we're closing in. We're about to hit 4 laps to go. Currently under 5 laps to go.
I remember what took me out of the first race. I going down into the boot the first corner, I spun. When there was a local yellow came out, and I hit the brakes to slow down because I couldn't see the incident. I got a little sideways. Was turning it, trying to save it, and then it just gripped up, and I got flung right into the Kenton, who hit my front suspension, damaged the steering.
Kind of ended the night early. It looks like we do have Dylan Gooden waiting here in the interview room, so we might as well make this a party here. It's a birthday bash race, and we'll bring up the 75 of Dylan Gooden. He's your guy in the truck business, having a rough second half here, Dylan. What happened to you here tonight?
So we had an alternate strategy, and it's going to get Johnny the win here, I would say. We pitted coming to green, and we were going to be good. And, they just wrecked in front of me, and there's nowhere to go. So it stinks. I had like an 8-second lead on Johnny, so he would have had to work to get around me. But he should. He's so good at this; it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's currently closed that gap. He was 30 seconds back. Not too many laps to go. Currently 8 seconds back here with 4 laps to go, but he's running lap times over 2 seconds faster than our leader David Westergreen. So it looks like Johnny might have the win in hand here. We still don't know if the 9 and 71 can make it on fuel.
If Westergreen can make it, he still may get past, but that's a heck of a run for him. I'd be happy for him if that happens.
Yeah, again, me and Nick were talking here that if you would have asked Westergreen, or would have told Westergreen that he was going to lead a lap here tonight, he probably would have called you crazy. and especially with this few laps to go, even having I guess a puncher's chance of maybe winning this race. But that domination from Johnny Eckert here, it's he's a tough guy to beat here at Watkins Glen.
Road course racing is tough, man. I mean, I don't consider myself a good road course racer at all, and I qualified second and ran third. It's really hard, and it's just amazing the guys that are good at it, how good they are compared to everybody else.
Yeah, it's it's crazy. It was almost like Eckert was in a class of their own, and everyone else at least had other guys to run with and battle with. But at some point here, some of these guys maybe get some more road course experience. I'm sure a lot of these guys, the first time they ran this configuration with the boot, so maybe once they get more seat time on this track, might be something that they can in the future compete with Johnny.
I mean, I'm a lot closer than I ever have been, and he beat me by 30 seconds. So you can go ahead and crown the championship, regular season championship to him too, because I won't be racing next week. So get out the trophy.
So you just felt bad for him, didn't you?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's not like I'm going to a movie or anything. So, guys, it was a pleasure to talk to you.
All right, you have a good one, Dylan.
Thank you.
I have an announcement to make.
Oh, there's an announcement to make.
Nicholas,
Oh,
you done goofed. You told me while I still had the powers of replay, you flipped and that we didn't catch it. Guess what? We called it out earlier last season on somebody else, and I'm calling you out this time by. You gave me just enough time for me to find out just what happened. And guess what, Monticelli? I hope your sister's going to have a good time watching you flip.
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Oh! Does the barrel roll. Wow. You know what? That was smooth. That was nice.
Watch you just spin it up, get it back around, and get going again.
Yeah, it was like, did you practice that? Was that something? Was that your sister's birthday present?
Yeah, there you go. I gave her a barrel roll.
Yeah,
Nicholas,
don't tell her you didn't get it.
That looked like it hurt. May I recommend some Icy Hot?
God damn it! There it is.
Numb to pain, Nick.
I was gonna say on the back tailgate of my truck. Actually, there's a happy birthday message for my sister. I don't know if you guys caught that one either.
What did it say in the back of the truck?
It just said happy birthday. Linda.
Oh, happy birthday.
I'd like to point out, Brendan, give me $1 has given you a 3 out of 10 on that flip.
A 3 out of 10. Ooh.
3 out of 10
Wow.
on that flip.
He must be the Russian judge here.
Where's my dollar, Jeff? Here it is. There you go. Brandon, give me $1. Awarding out the cash money, giving out 3 out of 10s.
3 out of 10. Look at him there, just smug, just handing out 3 out of 10s. I
Looks
see
like
how
a pretty
it is.
good battle happening between Jones and my hand here. They've been going at it.
They've been battling here for the 7th position.
DJ Weeks is coming in too.
DJ Weeks, who finished 3rd in half number 1. 2 laps to go. Westergreen now, that lead dwindled down to under 2 seconds. So Eckert is coming. Here coming to the white flag.
I think it's not gonna. I think it's gonna be just not enough for David. I think that Eckert's gonna get him here on the last lap, or maybe just before the last lap, which sucks for him.
It's gonna suck, but I still think he's got to be proud of the run he made here tonight.
Isabella looks like he's coming too.
He's coming quick. He's got those fresh tires, and still got to wonder if that 9 truck can make it around one more time on fuel. It's coming, Rome. Is he going to get by here going through turns 10 and 11?
Listening in right now to see if David says anything. Listening for him.
See if he says he's out of fuel. But it looks like he's going to take the white flag. Lead. Oh, he tried digging as hard as he could. It's going to be a drag race. Is he going to lead that white flag lap?
Oh, I was close. Oh, I reckon.
Oh, no!
Oh, no! Eckert gets in it with Westergreen. Oh, what the heck happened? He saved it. What just happened?
Is Isabella going to win this race now?
Isabella is up there with fresh tires. Westergren trying to hold him off. This is a replay of Marcus Ambrose, Brad Keselowski at Watkins Glen. Westergren's still holding on to the lead.
And David Westergren is Kyle Busch in this situation.
He's the Kyle Busch, and now they're going to go to the bus stop. Westergren's going to have to fight him. But it looks like Johnny Eckert was just a little bit too quick. And man alive, here comes Isabella with the fresh tires. Coming out, can he get it? He's going to have to make quick work of Westergren if he's going to feel like he has a shot to get up to Johnny Eckert. He got out of the way. He's going to try to, he's going to take his licks from that wound, but he's still going to finish third spot. It's going to be a good run. But does Isabella have anything for that 90 truck? It looks like faster laps were run by Johnny Eckert last time by, even though he doesn't have the fresh tires. But after that spin, I've never seen anything quite like that. That was purely insane. Going through the boot one final time. Man alive.
Wheeling it.
They are wheeling as hard as they can. Johnny Eckert, oh, he gets a little loose going into the corner. It looks like he didn't lose too much ground. Couple more turns to go, getting off the boot, getting back before they hit turn 10 and 11. One final shot here for Vincent Isabella to take the checkered flag. Does he have it? Can he get those fresh tires to stick? He's going to run it. Oh, he's off in the grass. Trying to run low. Oh, he went for it. Oh, and it did.
David Westergren's going to get second.
Westergren's going to get second. Johnny Eckert, it's coming home. He pulls off the sweep. Westergren's going to come home in second.
We got a close battle. It looks like between Jones and Evans in the back, too.
Isabella comes across in third, and was it Jones and... Who's that? Jones and Hill? Or Jones and Evans for the fourth spot. Wow, what a tale of two halves. And Johnny had to work for it there. It looks like Evans just holding off Jones. Hill just holding off my hand for 6th and 7th position. Here, he's holding my hand, and TJ Weeks comes home in 8th, side by side. Tepe defeats Carpenter to get that 9th spot. And there you see Johnny Eckert pulling off the win, and in a move I've never seen before. It was like a, what are those moves called? I always forget. The cops pulling TV shows, the J-turn. Because he got spun out and hardly lost any time to Westergren going down.
I have to wonder if maybe David waited up
maneuver.
because it was an accident.
Well, look like he spun in front of him. I think he didn't want to hit him. And also, you're slowing down for turn 1 there. It was just wild, but I've never seen a guy save a car so quickly. I could say maybe a half a time out of 100, I could maybe complete that. That was insane. That was insane.
I'm so glad I was up here in the booth for that.
Here's a replay, Nick, and man, they get together and taking him down. Oh, Westergren hit the wall pretty good. And spinning around, Westergren's trying to figure out where to go, and Eckert keeps moving like it was just like he planned on doing it. That was it was.
He was just giving him a chance.
Yeah, it was like choreographed there. Man, that was an exciting last couple laps, and we got some interviews here. We do have Vincent Isabella and Westergren up here in the booth. We'll bring them in.
I appreciate you guys letting me come up to the booth tonight. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, stay here. Do some interviews. Ask some questions.
All right.
It's always a good time. And first up, we'll bring in Vincent Isabella, who came home in third. Almost had a last-ditch effort to pull off that win. And what a wild lap. What was your perspective of that?
Yeah, I didn't have enough tires at the end to get Johnny, but when they wrecked, I figured I had a shot. It was either going to be checkers or wreckers, so... I was gonna. He's already locked in. I was gonna ship him for the win.
I mean, why not? You're running part time. You're only going for the checkered, and it would have capped off. And it did. Even the effort there alone capped off a wild and crazy lap. And Nick and I were just talking about how crazy of a save Eckert pulled off a 360 spin and was able to keep going. I mean, you had to see that all kind of boil down to, you probably thought, hey, this win's getting handed to me here.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. David said it too. He was like, "Oh, well, there's your win, Vince." I said, "Nope, nope." Got stuck behind David in the bus stop and didn't have enough time to get back to Johnny. Give me one more lap, I would have had him.
Would have had those fresher tires, but
Yep.
I mean, to even be that close to a guy who dominated the field by 30 seconds, and you were no slouch in that first half either. I believe you came home around the 5th position, and here we see that last ditch effort hitting that curve. Maybe if you didn't hit the curve there, that could have been a different story. And
Yeah,
then
I
getting
think
in
so.
the wall. But still, entertaining night for you. You were kind of highlighted there for much of the first half as well, being in that gaggle of cars with Kevin White Jr. and my hands. So you've had a pretty entertaining night here tonight at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I really love this track, especially with the boot. I mean, it's probably my best road course that I can run. So I was glad I ran pretty strong. I mean, I know Shane and I had some decent battles there at the beginning and had fun.
Yeah, fun race it was indeed. But one thing I got to say, and then I will see if Nick has any questions for you. I just couldn't get over how weird it looked seeing a Kyle Larson's paint scheme out of Toyota. It was a head scratcher there.
Well, that's our Lord and Savior Vic Bloom right there. He made that paint because for this entire season I didn't know I was the 5 truck. So
Well, you were running the 42. That was very
Yeah.
confusing for a while.
so
Nick, you got anything for Vincent?
No, not really. I mean, you kind of asked all the questions I had, so.
Yeah.
Do it, yeah. Well, go ahead. You got any shout-outs?
Yeah, you know, my whole team, ID Racing. I know Shane and I don't get the race as much as we used to, but we still like having the guys. I know nobody can make it tonight because of real world crap, but Shane Diamantova Designs, you guys for putting on a broadcast, and Home Place Beer Company, Mrs. Goodies, all the good stuff.
And I just gotta say, I'm sure Mama was proud to see that ending there. She was watching tonight. I'm sure she was excited. It was a fun one to watch. But
Yep.
Hopefully we'll see it out here next week. Headed to Richmond.
Oh yeah.
As the next event, so
yeah.
awesome.
Hopefully I'll be there.
What do you feel about your shots at Richmond next week?
Pretty good. It's my favorite track, especially if the setup's looser. So.
Boosted faster, fast laps
Yeah.
tonight at Richmond. So hopefully next week you can do the same. But again, good run tonight here, Vincent, and maybe we'll see you in Victory Lane here shortly.
Yep, Victory Lane are on the back of a tow truck because that 73's got one coming.
Oh, interesting. So we got kind of Jones finishing 5th, so a little bad blood between the two. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll be watching from up above, making sure everything goes all right there. But good run tonight, Vincent, and see you next week.
Well,
Thanks, have a good one.
I just wanted to say to Vincent real quick. I appreciate the battle our teams are having this year. It's been a lot of fun, and I really want to beat you guys, but
especially with not being able to race as much with work and stuff. It's been crazy. So it's a very tight battle between those two.
A tight battle indeed between the hyped up racing and ID racing, but we'll send Vincent off into the sunset after a wild and crazy race. I see David is sharing his screen. Oh, there he goes. There he turned it off. I'm gonna pull him up here, and we're gonna bring in the guy who finished second. David Westergreen got the wild finish, and besides the wild finish here, I'll maybe let Nick ask about that because I didn't let him ask questions last time, but. I kept saying if I would have told you would have led a handful of laps or a good chunk of this half before going into tonight, would you have believed me?
No, would not have believed you. I'm happy and sad. I start off by saying I totally wanted to just, if I was going to run into Johnny there on the front straightaway, I was going to do it in a way that benefited me. You know, he wins a lot. I don't mind taking a win from him, but we netcoded. I didn't even have a chance to fight for it, which is really annoying. And I went ahead and gave it to him at that point and let Vince take a shot because I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it on gas. It was really, really close. I think I ran out in turn 1. So, we were, it was like 2 to go. You're gonna have to pit. 5 to go. You're gonna have to pit. And then 2 to go. It said you have enough to make it. And then I was like, ah, crap. I've been kind of taking it easy, trying to make sure I made it. So, I don't have any regrets with that. That's definitely the best run I've ever had on a road course.
It was exciting. Nick, you got anything for David?
I mean, I was in here for the, I wasn't up here in the broadcast booth for most of this race after my incident, but that was insane, man. I don't even know how you two pulled it off, and the fact that Johnny still won that.
I know,
nothing about it.
I'm a little frustrated because he made such a great save, and I think Vince might have cut me a break, but he literally 360s and keeps going. And so I spin him, and I think, oh man, well, I just wrecked Johnny for the win. He's gonna be mad. And then I look back, and he's on my butt again, and I'm like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if your eyes probably got bigger than mine, but mine got as big as saucers when Johnny pulled off that 360 move.
Yeah, no, I was trying to pinch him. Like I was gonna rough him up, but like I said, I wanted to rough him up in a way that got me the win, not a way that just ran us both into the wall. But yeah, netcode took over there. I was a good foot off of him. I was trying to pinch him up, like I was trying to run him hard because he wins all the time. But we'll take it.
And hey, at least you made Johnny work for that second win for how much he dominated that first half and we were talking about how it was shades of 2011 of Kyle Busch, Keselowski, Ambrose battle last lap. It almost mirrored that. It was probably one of the more wild finishes we've seen here in the OSCA Truck Series.
I'm glad, dude. That was fun. It was fun to drive. I finally figured out how to drive the road course. It took getting track position and being in the right spot there, but staying out of the chaos and stuff. I really thought, because on the first race I pitted with like 6 laps into the race, and I made it with 5 to go. So the math told me I had like 19 laps of fuel, 19 or 18. And I was like, well, if I pit early, I'm gonna have enough. And sure enough, we make it right at the end. So I didn't have to pit. I think everybody else just about had to pit, and Zach slowed down so much. He wasn't even close. So that was cool. Like I said, Johnny wins all the time. I wanted to rough him up, but definitely didn't want to do it down the straightaway. That wasn't going to do anything for anybody.
Yeah, it was wild indeed. But again, not being that good at road courses, it's not really your bread and butter. And coming out with such a strong run here tonight, what kind of confidence or swagger are you going to have going next week when we head to Richmond?
No, I feel good. I felt good at Wilkesboro, and I think Wilkesboro kind of drives similar to Richmond. So, I've got, as long as we don't get doored into the outcrop at Richmond, we should be okay. But no, it was a good race, I think. And hey, 11th and 2nd, that was what we needed. I'm pretty sure that makes me fairly locked for the playoffs. So that's good. And I gotta say, I'm really excited about the playoffs, guys. If you want to come watch some awesome races, Daytona, Rockingham, Nashville Super Speedway. Between the plate track and the tracks that slip and slide, it's going to be a blast, and I think we're gonna have some really good races. This one was a little chaotic for sure. I didn't think this was gonna be our craziest race, but oops, my bad.
I was gonna say, wasn't it in a different league race at a road course? Didn't you say you were a fan of chaos?
I'm always a fan of chaos. I was trying to create it there. Like I think if netcode had allowed us to make it to turn 1, I was gonna shove him up onto the flat and make him chase me back down, and then we were going to see from there. So, didn't let us happen there though. So,
we got Burning Elmo. He's all about the chaotic.
Carlos wants to go. I'll go and cut it off. Get Johnny in here. He's going to take 20 minutes.
He is. But any shout outs before we send you out?
The Sad Racing team. We only had me and Adam and Schumann here today. Those guys were they were helping me out a lot, and I felt really comfortable. Adam had some bummer luck today, but. Adam's mom, we've been running for her, and then Johnny, who took the week off, but he's going to be contending for the championship too with us, and then Fody and Tate, when they show up, they'll be good. I think they'll probably be back at Daytona, so it's gonna be good. And everybody else is watching, my family, girlfriend, cat. All right, Carlos, I'll get out of here.
All right, he's already warming up that wrap it up button for Johnny. So, all right, good run, West of Green. Solid
Thanks,
second place run, and 11th. I was happy when he finished 11th. So good run tonight.
I put something together. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you bet. That was David Westergreen in that wild and crazy last half dash. But then here we got the man of the hour now. It's Johnny Eckert pulling off this sweep. Coming into tonight, you were the heavy favorite coming in, but the first one I think kind of went to plan, and that second one was wild and crazy.
Yeah, I the only thing I could say about it is that I made it that way. This wouldn't have even been close if I would have had a proper pit stop, but I overshot my stall when I came down the final time. I overshot my stall, backed into the wall, too far right, too far forward, had to back up to the stall behind me, and then finally got into the stall properly. It was stupid. It was really dumb on my part, but yeah, I could have walked away a little bit better, a little bit sooner probably. Well, I didn't even walk away, but I could have probably walked away at all if I wouldn't have made those mistakes. So happy with the result though, that's for sure.
Well, like I think we said this last time we interviewed you. You're always one for the dramatics, and what a dramatic ending to the second half there. You and Westergreen, net coding together and going around, and probably a move. Again, me and Nick were talking about probably a move I pull off half a time out of 100, and you were able to pull it off and able to keep going. Westergreen's eyes had to be big. My eyes were as big as saucers. How in the heck did you pull that off?
Well, first off, my blood pressure went through the roof in like a split second, because I was like, I haven't seen the replay yet. D West showed me whatever, but I didn't really see what I wanted to see from my perspective. But he like, just in that moment, like I was as far to the left in my mind. I like I said, I have to go back and look, but I was pretty much as far to the left as I could possibly be. Like I was on the white line. So when I saw him starting to come across, I was prepared for it. Like I felt like it was gonna happen. I don't know why, but for some reason I just felt like in that moment he was desperate to hold on to it, and he thought he was gonna hold on to it if I wasn't in the way. Let me put it that way. So that was what I was thinking at the time. But when I hit the inside wall, I just threw it in the second and gassed it up, and I don't know how it all worked out the way it did, but I was running on adrenaline in that moment, because I desperately wanted to finish off the race where I thought I rightfully deserved to be after that one.
I mean, it was almost like you planned it. It was like a choreographed move of how you spun and still hung on to win the race, and maybe that makes up for the GIF that was made of you earlier at Atlanta. Now you can have this one of see guys, I got a little bit of car control.
Yeah, because that got mentioned a few times tonight. I think it got mentioned in the ARCA race before. It got mentioned in the pacing. I think for both races, it just came up a couple times. So yeah, I guess I got a point to prove, and I gotta clear my name a little bit. Maybe that's the reason why this whole season is turning out the way it is. Maybe it's just I'm driving to prove a point that one incident is not going to define me.
It still occasionally does. Nick, do you have anything for Johnny?
No, not really. I don't have much for Johnny. I haven't really thought of any questions. I probably should have, but I mean, Johnny, that was insane, man. I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
It was wild.
Yeah, I'm glad it was dramatic for the broadcast, and given the result now, I'm happy. From my perspective, I'm happy with the way it finished. So, it'll be one of those that I'll just look back on fondly and be proud of, results wise. So, yeah, I can't wait to go look back at that and see what I did, because it all came down to one moment, and just being in that position. I mean, when Vince pitted, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to hold him off because he took tires and whatnot, but I managed to hit the gap to him, got through traffic, and get through other lead lap cars pretty well, and I gave myself the chance.
Well, I stayed out of your way too, so
I appreciate it.
And even after that spin, and you got around got around Westergreen, and you saw that the 5 truck was in your mirror, fresher tires, was there still a little bit of nerves going through the veins, thinking he might be able to catch you?
Yes and no, because I was watching the lap times and I knew that it was close, but it was going to take me making a mistake and or getting really, really held up by D West in order for me I think at the time at least I was thinking that he wouldn't be able to get me. I was just keeping an eye on my gap and just trying to manage everything because there was a lot going on in my head. I've crossed the line with half a gallon of fuel left, so I was just good too. Probably could have driven a little bit harder on that last lap if I knew that I had half a gallon of fuel left, but my dash misled me a little bit and overthought that one a little bit. But yeah, so you know, I thought I had him covered. It was the question of how would I get by D West, and I think him when he spun his tires, I saw it was like that. I felt like that coming out of last corner. I felt like that was my chance. So yeah, and then everything else that's happened afterwards.
And a wild and crazy finish. But with that, next week, going to Richmond, the regular season finale here for the OSCA Truck Series. How you feeling going into Richmond next week?
I like Richmond. I historically like Richmond, but you know, it's a different story. You never know what's going to happen. The races, I imagine one's going to be during the day, one's going to be at night. So I don't know what to really expect from that perspective. But you know, if the playoffs started or the chase started next week, you know, I'd be pretty pleased with everything that's come out of it. Like heading into this race, I really expected to at least try to get one of these races. I was hopeful to get both for playoff points and you know, for covering, quote unquote, covering Daytona, because you never know what's going to happen in Daytona. So yeah, I got what my goal, I guess, for this week, and Richmond, whatever comes of it is a bonus. So we'll see. I'm definitely going into it a little bit more relaxed, I think. A little less pressure, but you know, I still wanna go out and win. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, hopefully I can bring home another double, extend this streak. But if I'm being realistic, I don't think it'll happen. But never know.
Never know. And we're getting the wrap it up cue from Carlos here. But two-part question here. You know, speaking of that, going to Richmond and getting a win. We already had two drivers in here, Isabella and Westergreen, two guys involved in that last lap, who said they're going out there for checkered flags. They're not afraid to rattle your cage to get a win. So there might be a target on your back. How do you feel about that? Plus, any shoutouts you want to give?
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about Vince getting messages to just send it from people that I shall not name. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you know, I've prided myself in trying to race people clean and do it the right way. So, you know, if people are gonna do it the other way, then, you know, that's on them, I guess. But, you know, if it turns into that, you know, I hope we're not, you know, those people are not too big to expect the return. Let me just put it that way. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, I've had a pretty clean season, and you know, I don't think I've really been in anything. Maybe a couple incidents at super speedways and whatnot, but you know, I just hope that we keep it clean. I know everybody's getting sick of me winning probably, but I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. But yeah, I gotta go into to my team. But let's go back to my thank yous, I guess. Thank you guys for all you do with the broadcast, and thank you, Nick, for being so respectful on track. I heard you had a flip today, so hope you're all right from that.
Yeah, I was
But,
on the broadcast late in it, so you'll get to see that.
Yeah. I was laughing for a full lap about it because I couldn't believe that someone was flipping at Watkins Glen. But Dylan told us, I can't believe he just
I find the
flipped.
way.
But
I find a way to flip everywhere somehow.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I got to thank got to thank the league for all they do, but I most importantly got to thank my teammates. Dylan had a rough night in race 2, but I mean we finished 1, 2, 3 in race 1. Myself, Dylan, or myself, DJ. I got to straighten that out. DJ and Dylan, 1, 2, 3, and you know, and my other teammate Robert Hill. It was just a fantastic night, and apparently we're 1, 2, 3, 4 in points now. So this is great, and great night in points, team points too. So it's we're really hitting on all cylinders, and I'm very very happy to be with this team, and very very proud of everything that we've accomplished this season, and keep trucking and go for the ultimate prize in a month, or it's just over a month now. I think the finale is December 14th. So yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. And Johnny, before we head out, because Carlos is giving you it's time to stop. If you still have a voice left after that last lap, you got to say it. There it is, Johnny Eckert pulling off the sweep. Well, thank you for joining us, Johnny, and we'll see you next week at Richmond.
Yeah, have a good one. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you. That was Johnny Eckert pulling off the sweep, and in dramatic fashion here tonight. But with that, we'll wrap up tonight's broadcast here from Watkins Glen Speedway. Be sure to tune in right here next week, same time, 8:55 Eastern Time, right here on 3 Wide Racing Television. And for Carlos Acostas, Nicholas Monticelli, I'm Mike Goodman. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, good night now.